Witcher 3 is out in just another week, and before you throw all your money down on a pre-order or try to pick it up on launch day, here's 5 things you should know before grabbing it, starting with just how big it's gonna be. Now, of course, this wouldn't be the first time that a developer inflated or overestimated just how long their game is, but if CD Projekt Red's playtesters are to be believed, the game can be as long as 25 hours when you're speedrunning it. Actually taking your time and doing all the different quests you can supposedly take as long as 200 hours. Now, of course, that probably isn't going to be the average playtime, but with a number that high, hopefully that means that the game can be a healthy 100 hours for the average gamer. Now, there are a number of reasons why this game is supposedly going to be that long. The first of which is the fact that this is the first Witcher game to take place in an open world. And this actually leads on to the second point, because it's not just how large the world is, but the fact that it's also supposedly a living one. Now, this is something that we've heard a number of different devs promise time and time again that has sadly left a lot of gamers jaded, but if it's proven true, could be really awesome about Witcher 3, and that's the fact that this game is fully alive. This includes a living economy where what you do in the game affects the prices of things you can buy and sell, and the fact that all the monsters, beasts, and people live their own lives outside of what you do as the player. Not to mention the fact that the game is promising one of the most realistic senses of time, including the fact that as you adventure, your beard will actually grow. Now, as far as other cool new additions to the series go, the third point is the fact that this game will be the first one to feature a fully playable second character in the form of Geralt's foster daughter, Ciri. Now, as far as the full extent of what this means, we don't actually know yet. We don't know if she's going to handle that interestingly different from Geralt, if it's just going to be a few side quests or her own full story, or if you can even do the full free roam as her. But the fact that you actually have a full other character to play as is always a fun new addition to any game, especially when it's done right. Now, of course, not everything we've heard about this game leading up to launch has been good news, starting with our fourth point, the fact that the game has had a graphics downgrade. If you compare how the game looks in recently revealed gameplay and leaked footage to what it looked like back during the original E3 announcements, it's clearly worse. There's not nearly as much detail or as good of lighting. Now, on the one hand, this is something that the devs did reveal before launch. It's not some kind of big nasty surprise. And supposedly, this is due to the fact that they wanted the game to be more stable, not because they wanted to achieve some sort of console parity where the PC version doesn't look leagues better than its console versions. Now, hopefully this is true, and as long as the game plays solid, I'm happy. But if this ends up being another Watch Dogs situation where after the game comes out we find hidden game files that make it look better and doesn't affect the gameplay at all, well, that's just going to be disappointing. But hopefully that's not the case. Now, last but not least is something that a lot of people have gotten used to with a lot of other games, but I'm just a little disappointed to hear about it being integrated into The Witcher 3, and that's paid-for DLC. The first 2 Witcher games offered a lot of free DLC that was added over time and eventually accumulated into an enhanced edition where, even if you bought the game back at launch, you're going to get all that bonus DLC completely free. This time around, however, while Witcher 3 will have free DLC as well, it's also going to be the first game to have paid-for DLC, 2 of which are basically expansion packs. The first one costing $10 and the second costing $20. You're going to be able to buy both of them together in a season pass already for $25. Now, supposedly, the content from these is actually going to be rather sizable, the first one being as long as 10 hours of content and the second being 20, which, if that's true, that's awesome. I'm always down for proper expansion packs that actually add diverse and new content worth what you're paying for. But a company that before was trying to avoid any kind of paid-for DLC and now offering it, that's just something that makes me just a little disappointed and hopefully doesn't start them on any kind of slippery slope. Now, of course, these are just things that the developers have been emphasizing up until launch. There's a whole lot more about this game that I am excited for that will hopefully be returning from previous games, including a really detailed world, great monster hunting mechanics, and most importantly, moral choices that are a lot more complex and interesting other than just, do you want to save a baby or kick this puppy? How much of this holds true and whether or not I'm happy or pissed about it, I'll let you guys know after the game gets released next week. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button to let me know, as well as subscribe and follow me on Twitter. I'll see you guys soon with more content, but until then, I'm Kevin Kenson, and I'll see you guys later.